Mark Sanchez, Fox Sports analyst. He called the Raiders W over the Giants. My Lord, they look like John Madden, the late John Madden's Raiders. I want to talk about that because you did the game. It's fresh in your memory. And Jay Glazer had a report, and the players sort of revolting against Josh McDaniels. There is something about new coach. You said it last week, new coach energy. Did you ever go through that?
Not this early in a season. I think maybe with the last game to go, I want to say in Philly maybe. But the season was already, we were out of the playoff contention. We had one more game to play. So it was, if anything, just uncomfortable.
Right.
But this was clearly a surge of energy and a different attitude. And the thing I still think is funny to me is that Devontae still didn't get the ball. He barely got the ball. I mean, he wasn't like this major factor. He got taken away by that Giants defense. The issue was running the ball. They just lost Leonard Williams, and Bo Hardigree, the coordinator that took over, was like, okay, what were our issues before? Like, I can't replicate that. That would just be insane and just asking to get fired. You know what I mean? Like, okay, what was the problem? We couldn't get it to Devontae. We can't run the football, and our quarterbacks are turning the ball over. Well, let's fix it. They tried to get it to Devontae. It was okay. Nothing much. He was more of a decoy. Then, okay, running the ball, how do we figure this out? And that team, that offensive line got after it yesterday. And we're moving people, and I think part of that is because Leonard Williams is gone and Dexter Lawrence is only one guy.
That's right.
He still affected the run game, but at a certain point, it's like, whoa, we're rocking. And then Antonio Pierce on defense had those boys dialed in. They had all their linebackers were hurt. They signed Jalen Smith off the Saints practice squad to come play for him because he had played in that system in New York with these guys. But, Spillane had surgery on his hand on like Tuesday. He's playing with the club, calling the coach, figuring out everything's happening from the hospital. Think about that. This guy's waking up from surgery like, whoa, we got a new coach, whatever. Okay, Pierce, I'm ready to go. I'm playing. He's like, dude, you just got out of surgery. He goes, I'm playing on Sunday.
Wow.
So, these guys you could tell there was just a new energy, a new life in the building, and they felt like this was a chance to win. You can't say enough about that quarterback, man. He played his butt off. And Bo Hardigree put him in really, really good situations.
So I want to talk about Josh Dobbs. So it was funny. So we had said like 10 minutes before it happened, I said, if I was Minnesota, I like their left tackle, their receivers, their offensive coach. I said, I'd go get Josh Dobbs. Super bright. He could figure it out quick. Yep. Well, I didn't think it'd be that quick.
No, I know.
How surprised are you?
Okay, so I do have a funny story about this, but I want to give this kid love first because that's most important. What an incredible, we just had him in Arizona, and one of his comments when we spoke to him as he's getting one of his first starts for the Cardinals, remember, they beat the Cowboys earlier in the year.
Yes.
So, he's won games for other teams, and now he's on this new team, and everything's changed in a matter of hours. And he was just talking about, man, I'm so excited to, finally get settled down, in Arizona, get my place.
Right.
I got the fam going, boom, and boom, this happens in your life. What a resilient guy.
Yeah.
To figure that out, to manage those emotions and not overthink it. And, so now it fits right in the story of Kevin O'Connell. But I went to Washington on short notice when Alex Smith went down. Colt McCoy's a starter. He gets to start on Thanksgiving. So I got there the Sunday or Monday before Thanksgiving, a Thursday game. And the first thing we went over were 2-minute plays. Just our no-huddle offense because they're one-word plays. O'Connell's the coordinator. Jay Gruden's the head coach.
So O'Connell was there.
And we had been together in New York for 3 years together. So we know each other well. We were under Shoddy, so we knew that system, Shoddy's system. So I was translating a lot of my plays. Even though I played for other teams in between, me and O'Connell could speak this language of a different offense and say, this is this. NASCAR here is Roadster there. Whatever. And so Colt plays the Thursday game. We're good. We have another 10 days. We play on Monday Night Football. Colt goes down early in the game. So I'd only been there for a little over a week.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting any reps. The Thanksgiving week is all walkthroughs anyway, so I'm not getting reps. I'm just standing around, just trying to memorize plays, right, and concepts. And so Colt goes down. I remember on the sidelines, and the doc's like, "Yeah, I think he might have broke his foot." I'm like, "We should check that again. Let's make sure. I need another week. I'd like to get some reps, And so, sure enough, I go in this game. I barely know guys' names. I can only imagine. Josh Dobbs did it on 5 days.
Yeah.
So Kevin literally took the headset from Gruden, and here we are on a Monday night completing balls. He goes, Crowder underneath is going to be your low. Boom. Like I would read plays off the wristband. He'd say, flip, wristband 15. I'd read it and tell everybody else what to do, and then I'm thinking through it, and he goes, yeah, this is Crowder underneath. Jordan Reed's going to be right behind him on the basic. Just high to low to your back. He's on the check wide. Like he would give you the whole play, almost like fast installation. Or he'd say, hey, this is that play right there, the little fake.
Yeah.
He goes, read the will linebacker. It's just like you did with Chip, flat path zone. That's exactly what he said.
On the headset.
On that play. So I'm like, sweet, I know exactly what to do. I've said what it is, just so you don't have to process as long.
Sure.
And that's the whole thing is.
But you guys at least had
getting
a
to the answer.
relationship.
Yes, getting to the answer. So I can only imagine how this kid did that. And part of that is just him, his acumen, his IQ, like all that. Like he's got that clearly. So, and the guys rallying around him. It creates this heightened sense of awareness for everybody. They're taking practice cadence snaps on the sideline. Did you see that clip?
No.
There's a clip of him taking snaps, going through his cadence, just so the offensive line can try and get used to his rhythm of the cadence. Like, that's crazy to me. And then you go win a game? I mean, come on, man.
And win it like that.
That's unbelievable.
It really
is. Unbelievable.
So I said Joe Burrow reminds me of Joe Montana with Tony Romo's movement. There is something about, I'll just use Michael Jordan. I always felt Michael was easier to defend in the first quarter than the fourth.
Sure.
Like he almost focused in more. Like the game was so easy. It's like, okay, now I'm going to take, his head would start steaming. You're like, all right, I give up. There's something about Burrow that I think he's actually better under 3 minutes trailing.
Yeah, and some guys have that ability when everything seems to get chaotic. They are just so poised and so locked in and focused, just laser focused. And this guy's a stone cold killer on the field. Like he's in a different world and is, just a different guy. But I think one of the coolest things, like it's like comedians, actors, like personalities. Some guys are just great work in the room, like stand up, work the room, and it's spontaneous, and boom, somebody says a word, and they go into this whole bit, and they got it, right? That's their improv, ability.
Right.
Some guys need 6 months to develop a character, and they go win an Oscar, and it's amazing. It's like, wow, that person came to life. That character really resonated with me. Wow. Joe Burrow has both. And the stand-up improv stuff is the extended plays. The other stuff is just his discernment and processing how quickly it comes to life for him and he can cut it loose. It's happening in his head and he's anticipating instead of waiting and watching guys get open. But he knows the magic and the secret sauce for him is when it's time to improv, when it's time to do exactly what we're taught. And he will wait almost to the last second and being more critical of him in the past couple of years, holding the ball a little bit too long.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, get to the improv guy. Go, make the joke, move on.
Right.
But now it's like the perfect timing. When do I spin out? When do I step up? And his feel in the pocket while his eyes are downfield is some of the best I've ever seen. And that's hard because you get hit as many times as this guy has.
Oh, his first 2 years.
Guys go into shell shock and then your eyes just dip immediately and you see all these problems right in front of you in your lap, but he's able to just go right through it, right past it, and just so calm. It's really fun to watch. He's deadly.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.